Hey there interwebs, and welcome to what I've decided is day 2 of Video Week, a week where I'll be uploading new video every day. Today I've decided to do a little tour of my collection. What collection, you might ask? Skulls. One of my favorite things. I also collect knives, so maybe that's a video for a different day. So, I'm going to start out and go chronologically through the order I've gotten these. First one is Mort. Where is Mort hiding? Mort is a an American opossum. Its name means death. And I got this circa 2007. I wasn't keeping good records at the time. And I found him in my backyard. Next up on the list, we got Todd. Now, Todd is German for death, and be very gentle. This is Todd. Todd is a mourning dove. I got this somewhere in 2008, and that was just up the road. After Todd came Thanatos. Thanatos is the Greek god of death. And Thanatos is a white-tailed deer, which just happens to be the state animal of Pennsylvania. And I got that up at Camp Delmont on a scouting trip, or at least scouting-related trip. And that one I actually do have the date on, April 11th, 2010. Next up, we got Waldo. Where is he? He's right here. And there's actually Valdeburg, which is a fortress for those slain in battle, and that's Germanic myth. And Waldo is a house mouse. This is Waldo. There's not much left of him because he's tiny and the skull sort of deteriorates. But nevertheless, Waldo showed up at my house, sort of in the side yard area, on April 13th, 2010. Next up, we got Beelzebub. Geez, which one's Beelzebub? Possibly this. These are sort of the remains of the smashed squirrel skull. You fall out of a tree, you land in the road. Your skull's not going to be perfectly intact, but it means Lord of the Flies, and it was covered in flies when that is And as I mentioned, it's a gray squirrel, and I got that April 16th, 2010, right out in the road. Next up, we got Deirdrick. Namesake's actually Swedish for death. And Deirdrick, I'll get that later, is a blackbird. And there's this band I like called Amon Amarth. They're death metal, fittingly enough. And they have a song called Cry of the Blackbirds, and they're Swedish, I believe, so that's where the name comes from. And that's summer of 2010, out in the road. Next up, we got, okay, no, I'm not going to show you this one just because it's falling apart, and I don't want to move it too much. It's Quasimodo, which is part of a really old, stupid joke. But it's a northern ringneck snake, and it's a dead ringer. Bell ringer, Quasimodo. It's terrible. I'm not proud of myself for that pun, and that's late autumn 2009. Next up, we got one I like. I have a thing for rodents, just because they're small mammals, so the skull's manageable, but they're not so small that it falls apart. And actually, this one isn't a mammal. This is not a mammal. A rodent. It is a mammal, and it's a rabbit. Its name is Harry Carey, because hare, rabbit, ritual disembowelment by roadkill. That's an eastern cottontail from the summer of 2011. Give you a little show. Behave yourself. And that's up on Chestnut Parkway. Now we got Which one were you? I believe this one is Aeron Senior, Aeron, which is unisex, name of a Celtic goddess for war and death. And Aeron Senior is an elder northern raccoon. Got this somewhere in August, September. Wait. Yeah, this was one. It looks similar to other ones. And then we got, next up is Aeron Jr., much worse condition, but this one just sort of picked up in the woods somewhere. And these are both sort of in the woods near where I live. After that, we've got Luke. I know, very creative name. But LUC means light, as in light at the end of the tunnel, which sometimes turns out to be a train. And that's a North American gray squirrel. And I want to say Luke is this one. The lower jaw is sort of uncooperative at times. Oh, by the way, this is the top half of Beelzebub. This is his lower jaw portions. As is this. Beelzebub's a mess, I feel. Yeah, pity some of them. But Luke's from December 7th, 2011. And we're getting up there. Next up, we've got Curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. And Curiosity is a cat. And no, I did not just go out and kill someone's cat. All of my skulls were found on dead animals before you worry about anything. I just find them cool. They're like psychologically concerning jigsaw puzzles. But this is Curiosity. And this bugger actually bit me while I was cleaning it off, and I got some nice somewhere. Gotta be one of the only people in history to get bit by a dead cat. But yeah, that's from May 2012. Now, the 13th skull is Lucky 13, and Lucky is also a cat. Although, considerably less lucky. And that's from April 11th, 2011, or 2013, my bad. That's right up on the Chestnut Parkway Bridge. And I'm now realizing that this is Curiosity, and this is Lucky. You can tell because Lucky has this fissure on the top of his head. I believe that's based on a skull fracture, but I'm an electrical engineer, not a person. Like hospitality, medicine, nursing. I do computers. They behave more predictably than people anyway. And lastly, 14 is Letum, Letum, and that's Latin for death, and strangely enough, Czech for flight. And Letum's an American robin, and I can't show you the skull now because it's still in the vault outside, decaying. But maybe I'll post an update later, and that's also from right in this area. So, that's my collection. But two more I'd like to show off. This is I want to say mountain goat from the Alps in Germany. Don't ask. It was a gift. And these are the remains of my poor pet frog, Trevor. By the way, this soap skull was a gift from my wonderful girlfriend, who totally gets me.
Russ, any idea when you're planning on heading back?
Lastly, this is what I like to call the vertebrae slit, and it's made from Aeron Senior's spine. got some elastic in it. I can put it around and wear it as an actual bracelet, but I don't feel like putting it on just to take it back off again. And that's about it. I also have a necklace made from the baculum, but that's otherwise located. So, I believe that's everything I wanted to brag about today. And hope you learned something other than I'm creepy. I'll see you in